Good. Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your thoughts?
I told my mom, she said, do you feel comfortable up there? We rehearsed earlier this afternoon. I said, I feel way better up there than I do on the ground. And clearly your mind, my mind's more focused on what I'm doing. So I think it's relief.
Those first steps?
I was comfortable. I mean, again, I can't explain it to anybody any better than that's my life. So it's like I can put everything, and I've said it so many times in interviews that it's peaceful when I'm on that wire. And, even my brother-in-law's like, are you going to be okay? I'm like, yeah, you don't get it. Like, I'm much better up there than I am down here.
Were you thinking about the others while you were up there?
Absolutely. Yeah, of course. The biggest challenge I'm having is all that it keeps replaying in my head over and over again. But it didn't happen while I was on the wire, thank God.
And when you were up there and you were taking each step and you were looking at everybody working together, you thought to yourself,
this is who we are. This is what we're made to do. This is what God created us for. I can't explain it. This is my purpose in life. There's a lot of people that struggle with what's their purpose in life, and they have jobs that they go to because it's about the paycheck at the end of the week. This is not a job. It's not for a paycheck. This is my purpose. This is my being, and it's hard for others to understand. And I'm sure there's a lot of I try not to look at the media and stuff because of the criticism and stuff. But I've heard that there's some criticism out there, and it's like, you know what, guys, I can't explain it. This is who I am. This is what I'm made to do. Whether there's triumph or tragedy or accidents, there's a lot of parallels with me and my great grandfather, and it's kind of. I don't know. My aunt said it, Rietta, who's in the hospital, she goes, now we know how Fatih felt. He's went through these same things. I mean, I don't know.
did you have any hesitation tonight?
Not a second, no. No, again, it's about honoring the family. Again, I got all of their approval, and that's what they want me to do. That is what they want me to do. It's what my parents wanted me to do. At first I was struggling, and I was, talking with my wife a little, and then my dad texts me, I have a walk tomorrow morning in Tampa, and he's like, hey, if you're performing, I'm going to be at the show, and if you're walking, I'll be there. And that was like reassurance because I thought I was going to have to approach him and talk to him about it. It was like, no, do it.
When the show was over and you were still up there, I noticed that you hugged for an extremely long time.
Yeah, so that's my cousin Blake. I mean, both of us caught the wire. Both of us had to watch that. I mean, we've been in this most of our lives together. It's surreal, and obviously extremely emotional. Somebody my aunt was back there, and a lot of my family were here watching tonight. And she said, I'm sure you're sore and you got bumps and bruises. And I'm like, I feel selfish even bringing that up. I feel wrong. I said, yeah, but I don't want to talk about it because I feel selfish. There's people in much worse shape. They're going to be okay, but they're much worse shape. I even have had the thought of it being like I feel selfish for catching the wire. I know that sounds crazy, but, these are the things that I'm going to have to deal with.
That's survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank
My
you.
heart stopped a lot of times tonight.
Thank you.
But
Thanks.
you know what? I also know your skill.
Yes.
You probably
Thank
remember I sat on your shoulders
I
once.
do.
You walked
I do
me on the
remember.
wire.
You trust me. Thank you, man. Thanks for everything.
All right. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Good. We're good.